Is it better to start your career in a startup or an MNC? This is not a career question, it's an identity question. Let me start with three messages I get almost every week. One is from a final year student. I have an offer from a big brand. Everyone in my family is very proud of me, but I also have a startup offer that seems more exciting. What if I choose wrong and ruin my life? Another is from someone with 2 years of experience. I joined a startup to learn. I'm exhausted, sir. I do everything, but I don't know what to write on my resume. And I'm actually really learning or just surviving here. I'm confused. And the third is from someone with 6 years of experience. My job is very stable, salary is very good, but I feel replaceable. If I leave, I don't know who I am outside this company. Here are these three people, three different stages of their careers. All of them have the same question. Should I be joining a startup or should I be going to an MNC? And what makes this decision dangerous is not that it's difficult. It's that you only understand its consequences years later. This is not a which is better question. This is who will I become question. It's an identity question. Why does this decision feel so heavy? When people say they are confused, they are usually not confused about jobs. They are confused about how their parents will react, how their peers will judge them, whether they will fall behind, whether they will regret it later, whether they are secretly making a stupid choice. This isn't rational, this is emotional, and career decisions are always emotional, and that is part of the problem. Let me walk you through a couple of recent examples at Career Earth. But Arth came to us recently seeking clarity. Now, who is Arth? He has two job offers. One is a well-known brand, structured, predictable job. His parents tell everyone. The second is a small startup. No one recognizes the name of this startup. It also pays less. The job is a bit unstructured, but it feels very, very exciting. But when he imagines failing at a big company feels like bad luck. Failing at a startup feels like personal stupidity, given that he had two offers. So, what is Arab actually choosing between? Not learning, he's choosing between social safety and personal curiosity. And that is real for most of us. Then we have Ria. Ria came to us for advice. She tells me, my friend got 30% more than me in terms of salary. If I choose the startup, I'll be behind. This is how careers start becoming a race. Who is ahead, who is behind? Your first salary becomes your benchmark, your self-worth. And can be a bit of a problem. But nobody tells you this. Some careers start fast and then slow down. Some start slow and then explode. You only see the starting dot, where you are starting with a low salary. That becomes your starting point. You don't see the curve, the trajectory of growth. What startups actually do to freshers? People say startups teach you a lot. What they usually mean is you do many, many things. You solve problems yourself. You are constantly under pressure to deliver. You are constantly trying to prove your worth. But exposure is not the same as growth. If your learning doesn't turn into a clear, transferable skill, you just become tired. Kab tak karenge? Busy is not the same as valuable. And that is where people get confused. Then we have these early career professionals, 1 to 3 years in the role. This is the silent confusion phase. And this is the most dangerous phase. You are no longer new, but you are not senior. You are expected to figure things out on your own. Let me compare the two versions of a mid-career, of an early career professional in a startup and an MNC. So in our first example, there is Neha who joined a startup. In 2 years, she ran campaigns for the startup. She talked to users, did operations, built decks, managed vendors, was liked by the founders, and she felt that she was doing a great job. She felt productive every day. But when she tries to switch jobs, she freezes. What do I write on my resume? Generalist sounds very vague. Operations sounds boring. Growth sounds fake. She worked hard but built no clear asset or skill that can be transferred somewhere else. Very, very broad operations generalist work. Now let me tell you about the MNC version where Aditya joined a large company. And in 2 years, he knows one internal tool deeply. And many MNCs use tools which are built only for them. So he knows one of them inside out. He understands one reporting system, follows one workflow inside the company, and he's appreciated. His boss feels that he's amazing. He always delivers on time. What happens outside the company? Nobody knows what he does. He didn't fail, but his learning is not portable. What he learned inside this company, he can't take it outside. So the first big insight, startups make you feel like you're learning. MNCs make you feel like you're progressing. But the real question is, if you leave tomorrow, what do you actually take with you? Then we have the people who are in the panic phase of their life, 3 to 7 years of experience. Suddenly they start feeling ceilings appear. They're not able to move ahead. Their career is stalling. Their money is stalling. Everything is stalling. And this is the startup panic. Now Kunal has been in startups for 6 years. He's done everything, but now he's tired. No clear specialization, no strong brand, no obvious next role. Recruiters are asking Kunal a very interesting question. So what exactly are you? And when the recruiters ask this, he doesn't know. He's not a junior, but he's clearly not senior either. This is the generalist trap, doing too many things and being generalized for knowing nothing much. Then there is the MNC panic. You are in an MNC, but you're panicking. Shreya has been in a big company for 6 years. Good salary, stable life, loans are under control. She even bought a house recently, she told me. And then the layoffs are happening. AI, the layoffs have started. She realizes her skill is deeply internal, only useful to the company inside. If she leaves, she starts from zero. This is the golden handcuff trap. We have another group of people who ask, did I waste my time? This is the most emotional group. People trying to move from startup to MNC, MNC to startup, operations to product management, corporate to founder path. They all ask the same question. Did I ruin my early years? And the truth, you did not waste time. But you might not have translated your past into something concrete, and that translation is everything. I recently met with Sahil. Sahil joined a startup as employee number 6. He does everything. Feels important, needed, is liked by the founders. But after 3 years, he applies out. Recruiters ask him, so what is your role exactly at the startup? He says, kind of everything. Now that's a very interesting answer. A role which is kind of everything. That's not a role. That's a storytelling failure. And storytelling failures become career failures. This is the side nobody shows you. We often hear about burnout versus boredom. And this is a real trade off. It happens in reality. In startups, you burn out. In MNCs, you quietly rot. Choose which pain you tolerate better. And each one of us has a different pain threshold. Then we have family pressure, which is real. Some people need stability. They have medical responsibilities. They have to pay debt. They have family obligations which they have to take care of. So what should they do? For them, MNCs are not boring. They are protective. That is a valid thought. MNC gives you a predictable salary. You are able to take care of your obligations. You are happy. The other thing we come across is comparison anxiety. Do you also feel comparison anxiety from time to time? You see someone joining a unicorn, someone else getting promoted. Your path feels slow. But compounding paths always look slow early on. Most of us don't like slow. We want it to be fast. Not possible. So what is the recruiter thinking? So recruiters don't think startup is good, MNC is bad, MNC is good, startup is bad. They think, can this person solve my problem? Startup backgrounds are hard to decode for recruiters. MNC backgrounds are hard to verify outside. Both require some form of translation through your resume, through your discussions, through your networks that can convince people that you're ready to move out. So the real trade-off, it's not startup versus MNC, it's speed versus structure. Speed without direction is chaos. Structure without curiosity is stagnation. And then we have the money conflicts coming into play. Some people need predictability. Some people can tolerate volatility. This is not about ambition. It's about nervous system tolerance. So at Career Earth, we apply a decision lens. We don't ask which is better. Rather, we ask, how do I learn? What kind of stress do I tolerate or can I tolerate? And that is important. How reversible is this decision? If I go from MNC to startup, can I come back to an MNC if I don't like the startup? And vice versa. What identity do I want to build early on in my career? Why people regret their choices? People don't regret startups. They regret no clarity, no direction, no story. That is what people start to get very regretful about and think about looking at the other side of this coin. They feel that the grass is greener on the other side. People don't regret MNCs. They regret no ownership, no portable skills which they can take from one place to another place, and no growth. They hit the ceiling very fast, and that becomes a very, very big challenge. There is no correct answer, but what we have come to understand at Career Earth is that there are four things at play here: the stage of your career, your psychology, the responsibilities that you have in your personal life, and how much of risk you can take. These four things help you decide whether startup is better or MNC is better. In reality, what actually compounds and grows is not salary, but identity, confidence, skill clarity, optionality, and decision-making ability. These five things are important for your growth in your life and in your career. See, your career is not a ladder, it's a terrain. Think of the Himalayas, it's a terrain. Some terrains need speed, some need stability, some need patience. Choose accordingly, because you're not going up the ladder or down the ladder, you're actually navigating a very complex terrain. At Career Earth, we don't help you choose logos or chase logos. We help you design careers that actually compound. And that is what is most important. It's not important whether you go for startup or MNC, but find a career that will actually compound. क्लैरिटी होगा तो ग्रोथ होगा, ग्रोथ होगा तो करियर होगा, ये हमारा आपसे वादा है. आई लुक फॉरवर्ड टू सीइंग यू इन फ्यूचर वीडियोस एट करियर अर्थ.